Yo, what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Azriel, the one hollering at you. Hey, Happy New Year. I appreciate you guys for getting at me on the channel. I know it's been a long ass time. I've been enjoying the time with the family and the kids, and that's really why I haven't been making videos like I used to. I just found that it was more fulfilling teaching my sons every day, enriching their minds, and eventually it just became far more interesting for me to spend my time off the camera with the family, as opposed to making videos about things I'm impassioned about. But like always, there's always something that is an inevitable hook, some material that pulls me right back into this thing. And I'm gonna start the new year off with a video like this to low aptitude, lost again, lame ass, pro whack Chris, better known as quote unquote pro black Chris in LA. This is going to be a one-shot deal. I really am not going to waste my time talking to people who I personally think are beneath me intellectually until they prove otherwise. And this is going to be a teachable moment for the rest of you and how to deal with people like this. So if you want to know the setup, normally I get into trouble because I call blog talk shows of people who are definitely not even on my level, mainly because I want to have a bit of fun. When I want to have a serious conversation, I will call the Chad Factor, I will call Your World, My Views, I will call The Truth, Damn It, I will call different blog talking horseshoe, whatever that platform is. I will call those platforms to have serious discussions with black folks, whether they're liberal, they're a young outsider like me, they're a hard conservative, they're libertarian, whatever their personal viewpoints are. And it's a known fact, I enjoy a good conversation, but I digress. So I'm having this conversation on Sunday. I come in on the issue of child support, and I got a little debate with Victor Moan. It was kind of heated, it was kind of tense, but I kind of enjoyed it. So I said, you know what, I'll give it a second shot. Maybe, just maybe, the people I'm talking to would have grown up a little bit. And like always, they never seem to disappoint with the worst possible expectation. So I'm gonna just jump right in here. See, LA, you asked the question, why is it I couldn't identify with those people who say they're the real pro-blacks are pro-blacks? Because number one, to push it forward that these people are pro-black, they don't mean the real pro-blacks, but you're not, would be to encourage a no true Scotsman. Because until I see these people who are quote-unquote conscious repudiate you motherfuckers, y'all all under the same umbrella as far as I'm concerned. But to short answer the question, it's simply because I don't agree. And LA, I'm going to show why you, the defender of black pathology, I'm going to set up a quick parallel. And I'm going to show you in under 3 minutes how your ideology is dangerous and mine is not. LA, for all the things that you believe in, the system of white supremacy, blacks being held down by a system that's designed to destroy them, I'm going to ask you a quick question, several questions. When you walk out your door in the morning and you go up to pick up the paper on the lawn, how many people that you see in your neighborhood are drug dealers, gangbangers, prostitutes, pimps, and otherwise known as degenerates of society, the dregs of society? How many people you know are those? How many schools that are in your local community actually are meeting or exceeding the national standard? How many people have jobs? How many people are on social benefits and governmental assistance? And then, of course, the bombshell, how many of them people are voting Democrat and how many people are voting anything else? See, LA, the thing is, I don't have to be there to know that the majority of my answers to those questions, answers to my questions, are going to go my way. But I'm going to show you how my way of thinking isn't dangerous. But first, I'm going to show you how your way of thinking is dangerous. See, your way of thinking, LA, has been the same prevalent thought of blacks for the last 50 years. And I'm pretty much going to assure you that in your community, by the way you think of this quote-unquote system of quote-unquote white supremacy, which, by the way, you have yet to identify, has allowed people to fall into complacency. It has allowed them to fall into spiritual pipe dreams and solipsisms. These people do not have hope for change because they do not know how to make the change that they want. LA, by allowing people to blame white supremacy, a fictitious entity like the patriarchy, black folks are not taking responsibility for themselves. You see, it wasn't a white man that put the gun in their hand and told a black man to shoot another black man, or another black man to go behind closed doors with a black woman and have sex with her with no condom, no form of birth control. It is not a white man that walks up and says, "Negro, you will not get a job here," and points the gun at you to keep you from walking in that door. It is not a white teacher that walks to that classroom with a double-barrel shotgun and says, "All you niggas get out of my classroom." If there is LA police, by all means produce the evidence, and if you show me the evidence, I will not only make a video about it, I will personally come to Benton Harbor myself and do an expose on it and get national attention when I take it to Capitol Hill. See, LA, the consequential point is also that you Negroes vote Democrat in places like this, and of course when you have the white liberal involved, there can be no progress for blacks in America. It's a given fact that party has been diametrically opposed to Negroes since the Democratic Party took its shape from its earlier beginnings, which of course were the Democratic Republicans. But you know this if you did your research. Now, here's how my ideology so far will benefit black folks. I have told black folks that the best thing you can do, number one, if you are a law-abiding citizen, by all means, learn your Second Amendment rights and carry your gun. Not just protection from white folks, but from other thugs too. I've told black folks that the best thing you can do is to spend your money wisely. Learn how to invest your money. I have told black folks to stop putting money into a system of the hair industry that you spend over $2 to $10 billion per annum in. Money that can take kids and put all of your black children in the best of schools, gives them 4 books of every summer to read for the next 10 to 20 years, puts black students on full ride scholarships to college, can open several businesses and build your own communities simply by just cashing out of the hair weave industry. I have told black folks that the best thing you can do for yourself is to examine things from a critical point of view, take your personal feelings out of it, and examine things as they are. And what you will find is that common sense and logic will overturn emotion every time. And in the process of doing this, you are distancing yourselves from those among you who do not desire change, and you will see that as you weed those niggas out, and you include people who are like you in, you will see that your quality of life gets better. Now, LA, I want you to do a comparison here. Show me where my thinking has cost somebody their life. Because I can show you your way of thinking has led to places like where you live. Detroit, Watts, Compton, Savannah, Atlanta, Richmond, Portsmouth, Norfolk, Newport News, Santee, Brooklyn, the Bronx, Staten Island, although Staten Island's calmed down a little bit, Coram on Long Island, and I can go on for days. Of course, we all know the poster child, Chicago. So, LA, be real with yourself. Now, I'm going to tell you, you're going to take this loss like a fat ass Kush blunt. That's the perfect L. You have taken 2 L's to me already. You're calling me a coon, a black buffoon, a Sambo, a sellout. But Negro, you're the dude who claims to be pro-black but has called himself a pimp, a player. You have a whole bunch of children running around. And you've been to jail for not paying child support. But I'm a coon. LA, let me just make this very clear to you. I've already given you 2 L's. In 2015, alone. And already, in the beginning of the year, not 16 days in, you have already taken your third L. Do me a favor. Stop trying to be something you're not. You are not pro-black. You are a defender of black pathology. If you want to be quote-unquote pro-black, do yourself a favor. Go read a book. Please. Go read. Do your research. Stop trying to make up words to make yourself sound like you're part of the black intelligentsia when you will never even make it out to be anywhere within a galaxy of being black intelligentsia. Stop pretending what you are. Because what you are is what you aren't going to be. Now, Pro-Whack Chris. It's funny how you make fun of somebody or talk shit about a man who was in the military, but weren't you in that same conversation giving praise to Colin Powell, another black dude who was in the military and rose to the ranks of general? See, this is why nobody takes you kind seriously, because like LA, you sat here and talked about a system of white supremacy, but yet you Negroes can't even show the world who are the white supremacists. Where are they? How do they operate? What are their tactics, techniques, and procedures? What is their mission statement? How are they going to achieve this goal? Why they are doing what they are doing? You cannot show any of this. And you have the audacity to sit here and ride me and say I'm part of this white supremacist military, yet you just sat there and praised Colin Powell not 10 minutes girl in the conversation before I called into the show. This is why, like I said, no one takes you seriously because you Negroes are disingenuous. You cherry pick and you are intellectually dishonest. You sat there and said, I didn't build anything for myself. Well, that's funny because I have built my home for myself. I bought my first car on my own. So I chose to work for the government, sir. And you said anyone could do that job. Not so, sir. Because for anyone to do the job, you have to actually have the training. And there are plenty of people for the job I had that don't get that training, sir. Here's the thing, Pro-Whack Chris. Before you go talking things that you know nothing about, do your research like your friend LA. So put on that dunce cap, go stand in the corner, and put your face to the wall because you probably look stupid right now. I'm not going to put out, for those people who knew I was in the military, who didn't know I was in the military, and I was also a part of the MI Corps. I am a proud, esteemed member of the MI Corps. I take pride in my job that I perform for the Army. And not only was I trained for MI, I was also the battalion company rep for Seaburn and also did some cross training with Supply too. So I didn't just know my job, I knew 4 other jobs while doing my job. And see, the one thing I learned in the military that most of you Negroes like Pro-Whack Chris is accountability. See, the thing is, you Negroes do not understand that your actions influence everything that goes on around you. See, Pro-Whack Chris, you're sitting there talking about, well, they brought you here. See, the first thing is, they didn't bring me here because I didn't exist. Neither did my father and his father and his father's father. It goes way back when to those people. See, Negro, the problem with you, Pro-Whack Chris, is that when you try to take away people's rights of choice and saying they had no choice, you essentially are taking away their agency. And because they have no agency, they cease to be people and become objects to be acted upon. So what you're trying to say in a nutshell is that black folks are no more than objects and pawns to be moved on the chessboard that have no value, and they can never have value, because until you give these people their autonomy, which means you give them the right of choice, they will never be anything but. But see, this is the thing about you and your pro-black ideology that, like I just told LA, is dangerous. This is why. You are telling black folks that you've had no choice in your situation. That is a damn lie, because no one makes you sell drugs. No one makes you sell pussy. Nobody makes you kill your brother. You choose to do it. So since you choose to do it, Negro, you should choose to accept the consequences. But see, this is what happens when you niggas are brought up without fathers. That's a fact. You niggas are getting schooled right now by a young cat that's probably 10 years younger than you, because you know why? Number one, he had his father. Number two, when he went to the military, he had someone to mentor him and help him grow further in being a man. And then when he came home, he saw other people around him who were failing the basic leadership skills required to get where they needed to be. So guess what this motherfucking coon did? He pulled niggas up to his level. He didn't leave them down in the dirt and say, well, you can't get nowhere because of a white man. That's not how it works. Because you could go to Crown Heights, Ocean Hill, and Brownsville and talk to them Hoover Deuce niggas. You go talk to them G Shine niggas. You can talk to them G Stone niggas, and they will all tell you the same thing. This nigga is the truth because he does not talk. He walks. See, you know how that line goes in Hustle and Flow? My man Anthony Anderson said, listen, this is how it is. There are two types of people in the world. The ones that talk the talk, and the ones that walk the walk. Now, the ones that walk the walk ain't got time to talk, because guess what? They too busy walking. But the niggas that trying to talk the talk are trying to talk the other niggas that walking the walk into walking for them. Let me say that again. My man Anthony Anderson said in Hustle and Flow, and I'm quoting a movie for this, I want you to see the impact, ladies and gentlemen, where I'm trying to get to. There are two kinds of people in the world. Ones that talk the talk and ones that walk the walk. See, the ones that walk the walk ain't got no time to talk, because why? They're too busy walking. But the ones that talk the talk are trying to talk the ones that walk the walk into walking for them. Now, what does that have to do with everything I'm saying to these two lame ass coons? It's simple. You are trying to get people to do for you, but you won't do for yourself. And that is effectively you enacting the power of choice. So since you're enacting the power of choice to do nothing, nigga, then what you should understand is you will get nothing, nigga, because you are not choosing to be agents in your own destiny. Oh, y'all don't want to hear me, man. I'm getting ready to have church in this motherfucker. Somebody cue that organ music. Let me be real with you. You clowns are the reason why black folks are continually following people like you who think like you into perdition and destitution. Because you'll sit there and say, well, why is black folks coming down on Umar Johnson's and Tariq Nasheed's? But you'll turn around and then castigate men like Stephen A. Smith and Dr. Ben Carson and Dr. Bill Cosby, because the niggas are telling you shit that you don't want to hear. Why? Because you have bought the lie of the white liberal Democrat and the white feminist. And guess what, Negro? The evidence is in your face. The chickens have come home to roost. Now, you can sit here, pro-whack Chris, and like your boy, roll up that fat ass Kush blunt. That's the perfect L for you too. Now, y'all niggas can go ahead and talk all that bullshit you want to talk, because the fact of the matter is, none of you niggas can step to the level that I've been at. And I haven't done a whole lot, but I've done more than most niggas have done in their life. I've been across the country. I've done different shit, talked to different people, had different things put in my mind to make me a man. My heroes were men that weren't just men in the military or people I read about, but they were people that were around my day to day. From the time I grew up, and I was given a pro-African and pro-black perspective by one Karia Mucharera. That man is one of the men I call a hero. Even though I disagree with his position, the man has courage to stick to his guns. And not only did he stick to his guns, he came into a neighborhood and helped transform that neighborhood and created a place for young black children to grow up and have something. So I look at that man as my hero. I look at my first sergeants from basic all the way to my unit. Every one of them, white, black, Hispanic, all were my heroes. Why? Because these were men that saw me as somebody trying to pull himself out, and they put knowledge in my mind. These were the men that if I had issues in my marriage would sit down with me and my wife, and they would talk to me and mentor me, not as a junior soldier, not from a senior enlisted to a junior soldier, but as a man to a man and a woman to a woman, who took interest in my life, which is more than what you niggas have ever done. So before you come out calling people coons, black buffoons, sambos, and sellouts, understand something. I was a part of something that helped build me to the man I am today. I'm not happy where I'm at, so I'm always thirsting and grinding. You could sit there and tell the lies about how I was just homeless just a couple of months ago, but you never, ever, ever, ever could prove that and stop running around talking shit about things you heard from other people. You could sit there and talk about how I was dirty, dusty, and ashy, but yet for some reason you can never produce the evidence where I was never bathed for days, I was hungry, I was sleeping in my car. You could never produce the evidence, even though I shot all my videos in my car, because I chose to. You could talk all that nonsense, and not only could you not prove it, but it would just be a simple red herring from the fact that you two ass clowns are my bitches. You've been owned. Good night.